The news wasn't conveyed with the sense of alarm one might expect regarding a player who was averaging 21 points per game. About 10 minutes before the Mattituck High School boys basketball team's bus left for its game at Southold High School on Friday, Tucker's coach Paul Elwood received word in an oh-by-the-way manner that Tom Asher would not be playing that night. The senior guard, who is the team's leading scorer, went home after school with the stomach virus. Elwood said the late notice was given as if Asher would be missing a practice and not the 8th annual Southold Invitational Championship game against the Mount Sinai Mustangs. So the Tuckers lost a player, but they also gained one as well. The game marked the return of Connor Davis, who had missed Mattituck's first 2 games with a strained right hamstring. Davis, the team's first-string point guard, entered the contest with 1 minute and 53 seconds left in the first quarter. The senior, who rode a stationary bike behind the team bench to keep his hamstring from tightening, scored 5 points in about 16 minutes of playing time. Davis was a ball boy for Mattituck the last time the Tuckers won the Southold Invitational. That was back in 2003, the tournament's first year. Figuring it was high time they made an addition to their trophy case, the Tuckers went to work. They scored the first 16 points of the game and rarely looked in danger of losing the lead. The Tuckers led by 11 points at halftime and 11 after 3 quarters. Although Mattituck didn't have Tom Asher, it did have his twin brother, Steve Asher. Steve responded with a 17-point effort against Mount Sinai. It was enough to earn him the tournament's Most Valuable Player award. Yanni Rossio produced 13 points for Mattituck. Michael Gazzardi was Mount Sinai's top scorer with 18 points. It all added up to a 54-41 Mattituck victory.
MVP from Mattituck, Steve Asher.
Steve Asher, who wore number 24, was named to the all-tournament team along with his brother Tom Asher, Michael Gazzardi of Mount Sinai, and Winston Wilczynski of Southold. Earlier in the day, Wilczynski had scored a career-high 25 points to give Southold a 49-39 win over the Rocky Point Eagles in the consolation game.
It was amazing though. You think like you got guys having 22 points a game. Everyone would be like, he's not here and running up to me. No one said anything, and no one said anything in the locker room. And they would just, they weren't worried. I was a lot more worried than they were. They don't care. They just think whoever's on the floor is going to do a good job.
So Connor, how did you feel today coming back from your hamstring injury?
It felt a little slow in the beginning. I haven't really been playing, so I came back a little slow. I just had to get back in the swing of things, get back in the action. So it took a little time. Once the second quarter came around, I felt all right.
You know, it's funny. Mattituck gets a player back and then loses a player.
Yeah, I know.
Tom Asher. How much of a difference is it not having him on the floor?
It's big. I mean, every person on this team is a vital piece to our puzzle, and it just. Once we lose one person, it kind of gets out of sync for a while. So it was a big loss.
Not having your brother on the court, what difference does that make to the team and how the team plays without him?
He's a great player. He can score. He brings another scoring opportunity to the table every time.
And how would you classify yourself as a player? How are you?
I just try to help out the team, whatever works.
Well, and the other thing is having Connor Davis back. That's got to be a good feeling, huh? How much of a help is to have him back on the floor?
It's great having another ball handler. He's a great ball handler, and definitely vital for the team.
How well would you say Steve played in this tournament, and what he did, Steve Asher?
Steve's playing like Steve does. I mean, he's solid. He's a good 2 guard. He can run point guard. He got a little dry streak there in the third quarter where he missed shots, but I told him, he looked at me, I said, you're our only shooter, you got to keep shooting them, you know. And yeah, he did a good job. He had to break the play. He had a lot on his shoulders tonight. He was the shooter, the point guard, the press breaker, and logged a lot of minutes.
Your brother is home right now, huh?
Yeah.
So he's going to hear the good news.
Giving me tips.
Tell him, in his absence, you got. It's kind of really. It's really funny that he's not here and you got the tournament
I don't have to thank him for that.